Is my mic working now? This is the question. Looked like my mic wasn't working there, so apologies, guys. That was, I mean, you know, I've been talking this whole time, and you guys couldn't hear me. So let's try again, guys. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Live Play Noob Gazelig. We're gonna have some fun. We can't. Oh no, you can't see this. Is the audio working here? So yeah, we're gonna fold 6-5 off. Rockape says, "What are the payouts? Which tournament? No idea. Honestly, I don't really care at the moment. Nothing is anywhere close to being well. I just don't even really care about the payouts. I know that you do. That's why you've asked. But tell me which tournament. Recognize that we're on a 4-minute delay as well. So by the time you get this, you're then going to have to answer that. And then there'll be 4 minutes after that. So it'll be 8 minutes from now when you get an answer, which is not ideal. We're going to jam here folded 2 with 10-8 suited. Unfortunately, we don't get a chance. Mr. Jam says, can I hear anything? It's almost like I could hear it in your accent, Mr. Jam. Yep. As I posted in the chat, there might be some trouble with the audio because I didn't click unmute. All right, let's go here. That's a shame. We would have played this, obviously covering this player who has like a third of a starting stack, probably less than that. I don't want to call it 3-bet though. I'm just typing in there. Yep, problem with the sound. That was my fault. We're on a 4-minute delay. It's sorted now, but it might just take a few minutes for the sound to come in. But by the time you hear this, the sound would have been on, you know, for a while. Yeah, on a 4-minute delay. So you might have to wait 4 minutes. We'll get there in the end. Hopefully, anyway. I mean, it says audio on my side, so who knows? Maybe there's no audio. Maybe we're gonna do the whole stream without audio. I don't know how long I'm going to stream today. I have some tournaments that I want to play. So, for example, in about 25 minutes, we've got the $55 mini bounty high roller. That's going to be a special edition tonight because of the Bounty Builder series. 5+5, we've got the 215 Super Tuesday Bounty Builder series. After that, we're also late reg the marathon. We could get in the marathon now, actually, just to give us another tournament to play. So maybe I'll just try and find that. 1 second. Yeah, late reg ends in an hour and a half. Wow, wowzers. Let's get in that. Let's see if we can make this look all right. Got to try and new different key combination, whilst at the same time trying to play poker on the other tables. I do not envy players who stream regularly. This seems like the hardest thing in the world. I'm sure it's easy once you've got it set up. All right, 40 big blinds in a marathon, heaps. Oh, look at the guarantee. I haven't played on a Tuesday for a while, and I didn't realise the prize pools had significantly suffered. I mean, what is going on? Everyone's saying, "Vamos, yes, yeehaw, I hear you." Yep, okay, good. Lip reading is a good skill, absolutely. Right, let's go up here. We have tens and we cover the big blind, and we definitely want to play this hand. I'm just going to start with a call. Down here, let's see if this works. No idea if it will. Okay, good. We're going to shove ace-8 suited under the gun. I guess you could min raise as well. Who else is here? Cleese is here. Brazilian Donk. Chiops. Graham 11. Let's stay here. Oh, he's called. We're probably dead. Oh, no. We're definitely not dead. And we've got 56% equity despite being behind. Let's see. I think we lose though. Yeah, never mind. Right, so 10s here we're going to call. We went check on the turn. Well, that was a fun $25 in the doubles stack, getting in ace 8 against ace 5 and losing despite being ahead on the flop. God knows what's happening here. This is what I was talking about, how streaming is really difficult. I have no idea what's happened. So we called pre, it went check on flop, and now he's just betting. I mean, what other hands are we going to have? We could have some sets. We could have king X of diamonds. We can have a queen. After that, it gets pretty dicey. I think we only cover this guy anyway, and we still cover him if we lose. If we win, then we cover a few more players. Factor that in as well. Call and lose most of the time, I guess. Nice hand. So let's have a look. I'm going to try my best to keep up with stuff, guys, but we'll see. Brazilian Donk said, this format is so cool to learn. Thanks. You're welcome. Mr. Jam, because population overfold, in vanilla, do we increase our raise first in? But because population overfold, in vanilla, we increase our raise first in, but can we still do so in a PKO? Yeah. Just play way more hands. I find that in PKOs, we need to play a total different strategy. But you need to recognize that opening ace 10 suit here. Got to recognize that you got to see like who's got whose bounty power, factor, index, ratio, whatever you want to call it. I've heard it in lots of different formats. We're going to shove here, hoping for folds, obviously. I'll stay on this one. Ace 10, we got called in 2 spots. We're out of position on the king high board. We got it through there. Okay. So I checked here. Probably just going to check fold. I think you can bet as well. But, you know, we're up against pairs and broadways, and I don't want to bet too big here. And I think on a rainbow board, backdoor flush draws are going to call very frequently. So we don't really benefit from betting small. I think I'm just going to check again. We could bet and get pairs to fold now, like 6s, 3 10s, right? We block ace jack, which is nice. We block jack 10. But we're up against 2 players, we're out of position, and either of them could still have a king as well. Knockout poker. Is it normal to jam 56 big blinds? No. We have a gut shot here. This guy bet into 2 players. What kind of draws could he have? I mean, something like ace X of hearts or 9-10, queen 10, stuff like that. So he's still ahead of some of that. I don't love this though, given that he's bet into this player. I think it's just easier to check. So I think we're going to be behind a lot here, and don't really want to continue. Here we're covered by the opener, plus it's 3x, and don't want to defend here. I'm gonna shove here. We can get better hands to fold in a6, a7, ace8 might fold in these positions, and we block the kind of hands that can call. Not in love. But let's see if we can get one through. We do. Okay, that's nice. So there's 25 left in this, 11 paid. 6 is probably going to be a get in, but we'll see what happens. Let's go over here. 10-4 off. I used to stream on a Sunday morning, and once you get into it, it's a lot easier. But yeah, I'm so out of practice. Not going to defend here, I don't think. Not a full big blind in the middle. Raises a little bit bigger. This is a really interesting spot because he's obviously going to raise call all the hands that are better than ours, but I think he could also raise call the hands that are worse than ours as well, like 5s and 4s, plus hands we're flipping with. But against this, we've now got 2, pairs. There could definitely be bigger pairs in this range. This guy's range, it contains everything. So I'm not going to continue here. So you've just joined us. You will see that we are playing some live poker. Well, online, but it's live on a 4-minute delay. Fold 6-3 off. There's only 12 left until the money, but I mean, there's 34% of the field left. Really small field tournament. I only got 68 runners. So the big 44 is overlaid today. That's fun. Landon on YouTube says, "Hey Gareth, huge fan of the pod. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Let's go here. And this is a bit of a loose open, but I think that these blinds are either going to overfold or play poorly post flop, so that's fine. And I think we can either bet or check. I'm going to go for a check here. I think it's a board where we would go big bet and check fairly frequently. So I'm going to check this time and probably just check turn as well. I think this is a really good card for big blind to bet a lot, but it chooses not to. If they bet now, we'll call. If they check, we can value bet. So I'm not convinced it's good enough to raise for value. It's got to be pretty close though, right? We'll go with call, but maybe raise is better. Okay, well, glad we didn't raise. But yeah, I think it's a really good card for him to lead a lot on. So on the turn, that is. We pick up queens straight behind. And we are going to 3-bet and go with it. I mean, our stocks are really, really strong. Anytime you 3-bet, dips under 20 bigs. But we can have some bluffs here. I can 3-bet fold. This player is going to get tagged as a fun player straight away. Cold calling small blinds out of position just really isn't a thing. But quite an awkward spot. I mean, if he ends up having a king here, I mean, he ends up having a king, right? There's not too much that we can do. I think we can induce some action here, but we could just stack off here against a king, right? At this stage, I want to try and size it so that I can get all the chips in. We could shove, but I think his range is somewhat weak. And again, we could get this in against a flush and just get there. But I don't want to jam here because we've only bet, what was it, like 10% pot on the flop. But he literally could just be messing around and not really know what he's doing. So that's great for us. And yeah, he could have a weak king, could have like pocket jacks, could have ace queen, just not folded flop. So yeah, jamming for value and pretty happy about it. So I don't know if it's happened yet, but if there's some hands that come up and you've got some comments on them, just recognize that there's a 4-minute delay and I might not remember what the hand is, right? So try and give as much detail as you can. Here I'm going to jam king, queen off. There's 21 left. Graham says, did I see you at the weekend in Leeds for the 2550? Yes, I was there on Sunday for day 2. Did you play, Graham? Well, you must have been there, unless you're playing cash, I suppose. I don't know where I finished. Something like 40, I don't know, 45th, 48th, something like that, for like 515. All right, we get it through. Wow, we've got through a few jams through already. The Bounty Builder 44, nothing's really happened. I don't feel like I've really played any hands, but We have 74% of a starting stack, which is not ideal. But there we go. That's what we're dealing with. 5-3 here versus a min raise and a jam. I'm going to fold. Sarab Chowdhury on YouTube says, all the best. Thanks, Sarab. Thanks for being here. We're going to jam if it folds to us. And go from there. Well, that'll be it. Yeah, Principal 22 says, hi, good luck, good luck. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you've just joined the stream, we're on a 4-minute delay. And trying to decide what to do. In this spot, I think call or 3-bet are both fine. I'm going to 3-bet this time. Okay. So if you just joined us, yeah, we're playing an online session. The clocks have changed, so potentially what I wanted to play is not available, but this is what we've got so far. The big 44, 10 left before the money. Very, very small field tournament today. Bounty Builder 44. Nothing's happened yet. And the Marathon 55. We've chipped up a little bit. And that's it. I'm going to go for a bet. If he raises, I'm going to call. If he calls, we've got a pretty good idea of what his range looks like. If he raises, he could have, I guess he could have threes. Queen, Jack, stuff like that. So if we bet again, we'd really just be trying to get diamonds or clubs to fold. I think I quite like check here. I think if I had a club or a diamond in my hand, I'd prefer a bet, you know, just because we can block the continues, but also potentially bluff river as well. Jack of diamonds, I think he's got a huge number of Jack X hands in his range. If we bet now, I'm really not sure what we're trying to get to fold, so I'm probably just done with the hand. I guess like ace 3, you could have some pairs underneath the 6, but without a diamond it kind of sucks, although I said I would have bet a lot of diamond hands, but I'm just going to check and give up. And he ends up with 2s, that's really frustrating. Ace 10, just going to shove here for 10 big blinds. Van says the sound's gone again. It shouldn't have done. Well, we get called by ace 8. That's a great start. All right, we'll take that. We definitely will take that. Double up there then. 20 left. Opening Jack 7 suited here. Sounds okay. So we are going to run into problems if the sound's gone and there's a 4-minute delay, because then there'll be another 4 minutes after that when we get it fixed. So, yeah. I'm not sure if this player is going to defend a hand like 9-5 off, 9-4 off, which means that we can sometimes get away with a small bet. Having diamonds is not great though, because we want him, like, the first suited hands that fold here are going to be diamonds. So I think we go, and he's also probably just going to overfold, so betting would be fine. But normally on a low board, you see a lot more big betting, but when they don't have 9-5 off, 9-4 off, I think we get to see some small betting as well. And then if he's going to overfold, then small bet is good. What am I doing here? Trying to click OBS to fold. So 14 of 20 with 11 paid. This could get interesting. Principal 22 says, I'm surprised on your take that in the small blind there is no calling range versus a raise first in. I think there is, at least some charts would say that. I don't ever remember saying that there wasn't a calling range. We had a spot with Queen Jack off, I think is the one you're referring to, and I said it's a mix between call and 3-bet. No, it's that I didn't say that there's no calling range versus a raise first in from the small blind. If I did, I misspoke, but I'm very happy to flat there. But I'm fairly sure I said it's a mix between call and 3-bet. I'm going to 3-bet this time. Queen's here. We cover this player. We want to try to get chips in here. We also cover the big blind, but I think on the whole we're going to want to 3-bet here. So that's what I'm going to do. Graham says he finished 15th after a long grind with very few hands played. Well played, Graham. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Okay, we'll stay on here. This player is this is really frustrating because cold fours. I mean, it's a bounty tournament, isn't it? But he tanked for so long to then 4-bet. Is it really going to be a bluff? Can we still late reg re-enter? Not really. 40 big blinds. Don't really want to re-enter. I shouldn't really factor in your decision, by the way. But I really don't like this spot. I might just make an exploitative fold. It sounds really crazy, but I'm going to fold. And I think that his range is just way too strong for that situation. And I'm really excited for the chat to tell me how bad I played that hand. Yeah, I think I've never seen this player before. He's a recreational player. And yeah, that's it really. I think, I'm going to overfold. We shove King 9 off here, run into Ace 5. This is a shame if we lose here. Let's see if we can. Okay, well, we somehow bink a king. And over here, we've defended with King 8. Against hijack, I'm going to raise and just play for it. We get called by jacks and 10s and queens and 9x and 3x and draws. The better our kicker there, the better. Better. This is an okay. So we've luckboxed our way to 29 bigs here. 7 of 19 with 11 paid. I'm gonna raise with 5s and but recognize that these two players can just go ham on me. Okay. Well, whoa, we got a chance at bounty. I'm surprised that the big blind didn't come along here. Wow, that's an awful shove, I think, as well. Okay, unfortunate. And over here, let's see if this works. So we min raised. This guy 3-bet and this guy ripped, and this guy just called it off with ace queen off, just like. And this guy had 10s. So 7 of 18. So Lazy Panda on YouTube says, "Hey Gareth, love the content. What's your best advice to study for someone who's a practical learner? Love this style of content. I'm 23, UK based, just starting out on my poker journey." So I would say the first thing you want to do is join my free Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/poker profits. And okay, we're just going to fold here. And so if you're a practical learner, I think you want to what's going on here? Kings, ace 2 suited. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat as well. Nine six off. I'm gonna. Wow, this guy. I'm actually just gonna fold. I think he's going to attack my limp aggressively enough. We've played 971 hands. He's limped. Well, raised. It's a small sample, 4 of 7, but. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I understand the situation now. Yeah, you shouldn't cold call versus a 3-bet out of position. If that's what you guys are referring to. It says here, yeah, you did. You marked guy green and said it was because of that. Yeah, no, he's cold calling a 3-bet. That's not no calling range versus a raise first in, is it? That's different. So cold calling a 3-bet, someone raises, we 3-bet, and they cold call out of the small blind. That's a no-no. And is unlikely to be very good. And Aika Akio says that was a cold call versus a 3-bet in that queen hand. Yeah, so slightly different. And so in terms of the practical learning, then I would say that you want to set yourself up to do drills. Using something like DTO. You can see if you want to get hold of DTO, you can use my. This is going to be a fold here with 6 before the money and a really poor hand. Let's go over here. So yeah, DTO, post-flop and pre-flop are going to be really useful, and multi-way going to be really useful for you here. I'm going to flat 7s. So some interesting. I thought you guys were going to absolutely hammer me for the Queen's fold, but a couple of you saying yeah, it's no bluffing there. I mean, if he's got lots of Ace King, then probably shouldn't fold too much. But is he 4-betting with jacks and 10s? Probably not. I'm going to call here. We have a gut shot, backdoor flush draw, so I'm not going to fold just yet. I don't think he should bet very frequently here. So if he continues again, it looks very, very strong. He could have like Ace King, Ace Queen, not really know what to do. But my hand just doesn't really function as a value bet, doesn't really function as a bluff. So I'm just going to check. And this is a nice situation if they don't have diamonds when it goes check, check, and we win. And this is why we want to peel with diamonds and not the other suits. So let's go over here. We have Ace 3 suited. I think this player can jam very wide here. Our risk premium is lower against this player because we cover them, so I'm not going to fold here. Oh, not sure what's happened. I have clicked call, and he shoved Queen 3 off. Okay. All right, nice one to pick up. So 16 left, I think, now. So he defended from the cutoff. He doesn't have too many offsuit Jack X hands. I think we can go either way with a small bet or a big bet here. I'm actually going to go small bet and pretend like we've got 2 overs and a flush, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. I think if we're deeper than that, I don't think we're going to see any big bets. It's a mistake I made recently. Was using like the big bets in those situations, like 60, 80 big blinds deep. I think we just see a lot more small betting, but 30 big blinds. The lower the stack, basically the threshold for being able to stack off goes down. So you actually see some more bets, just like over pairs, like queens, ace, jack, king, stuff like that. Wants to just go for it. So Lazy Panda, I'm not sure if I answered your question there, but hopefully I did. But yeah, so practical learning. I mean, I would pick up my book as well, like, shameless plug here, but Purposeful Practice for Poker is all about, purposeful and deliberate practice when it comes to poker training. Not just blindly watching a training video, watching a I'm going to say it, guys, watching a Twitch stream, but actually taking notes or thinking about how these things might apply to your own game could be quite useful. If you just joined the stream, guys, we are 6 of 16 in the Big 44 with 4x starting stack, if that matters to anybody. The Bounty Builder 44, just nothing. We have half a starting stack, so we've got to be pretty careful here. And then the Marathon, we have 2x starting stack. Yeah, that's it, really. I'm probably going to defend here, like the fact that there's only 0.7 big blinds in the middle. Arton says, can't you cold call aces in the small blind to a 3-bet? I wouldn't. I mean, if that's the only hand you do it with and you're playing against a weak player, then fair enough. But, you know, if you're playing against someone good, they're just going to read it for what it is and overfold or not put any more money in post-flop. Not sure how long I'm going to stream for today, guys, because normally I would just do like an hour, hour and a half. But obviously with playing online, we'll have that 5-minute break, right? And I'll need to go and have that break because I'm going to be playing more tournaments after this. I'm not going to stream my whole session today. I just wanted to keep the consistency going of doing an hour to an hour and a half every single week. If this player folds, I would have opened, but I'm going to fold now. And I'm just going to flat here as well. Yeah. So let's go back and talk about like the whole idea of not cold calling out of position. It's a no-no, but the original reason why is because the solvers were not set up to cold call, right? It's another branch of the game tree that makes the sim take longer to run. I'm actually just going to check back here. You can bet, but I'm going to check here. I don't think you always want to bet your top pairs, so that in these situations now, this guy can, you know, he thinks, oh, he's never got a king, I'm going to blast now, and we've got a really nice, easy call on the turn, so you can bet or check. I'm somewhat tempted to actually just raise here. We're going to get called by Queen Jack, Queen 10, King 9, stuff like that. We block Ace Queen, we block Queen 9. It's a shame if he jams, but I literally, like, what does he jam? Just a very strong hand. When he calls, I don't think our hand's good enough now to bet river, because he can still have a hand like Jack 10 or King 10. So I'm just going to check back and hope to beat like Queen Jack, Queen 10, something like that. Oh, he just has top set. Nice. That's an interesting hand. Just top set. What a life. Oh, look at this guy. Shoving 30 big blinds. Someone's been in the lab. But yeah, so on the whole, I would say do not cold call 3-bets out of position. But there are situations, especially on final tables, where you can, and once you set the solver up to actually allow it, then it happens. So yeah, I don't want to say that like you shouldn't do it, but basically you shouldn't do it until you've actually looked at the sims and understand why you get to do it. Yeah, that's it really. Plus, I mean, there's the difference between Chippy V and ICM sims. I think there'll be some more cold calling in those situations than in ICM than in Chippy V, just through virtue of not wanting to put as many chips in. Yeah, I think that's it. 6-3 suited, we're going to have to fold. So 3 before the money now. With 7 of 14, 11 get paid. So Lazy Panda says, I will now make a Facebook once we're off stream. Aha, and I will get DTO. Appreciate it, Gareth. Good luck. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh yeah, I was going to register another tournament. It's so weird that everything starts an hour earlier as well. Principal says, I hope you stream your whole session. I'm not going to stream my whole session. I'm not built for streaming whole sessions. Apologies, guys, if that's what you signed up for, but I didn't. And in the first 5 minutes when there was a problem with the mic, I was talking about how I don't envy full-time streamers. I think it's a really, really tough gig. Seems really easy, you know. They look like they're just clicking buttons, having fun playing poker, but behind the scenes, I mean, the stress of like keeping up with the chat. I've only got 4 tables here as well. I mean, the streamers that do more than that, you know, shout out to them. But yeah, so now we've got 4 tables. We have the big 44 and we're on the money bubble. That's why I changed the felt to kind of whatever color that is, purpley. Bounty builder 44, where nothing has happened and we're very short, and we're 475 486, so it was bottom of the pack, and the blinds have just gone up, so now we have even fewer chips. We're in the marathon with 31. We have like 1.5 starting stacks. We just went really aggressive with top pair and a straight draw and ran into top set, which wasn't very fun. And we also have this tournament, which is the Bounty Builder 55. So it's the mini bounty high roller, but it's the special edition, 150k guaranteed. I think, doesn't it normally get 150k? I think I'm going to fold here. We don't cover this. Do we cover this player? 890, 960, no. So it's just a fold. So Lazy Panda on YouTube says, definitely will be checking out the book. I do have Doyle's Super System 1 that's helped me, but can only help so far, mainly on my live games. Yeah, I don't know how relevant that book is anymore. Oh, here's a fun spot. 3x. I'm just going to fold and look forward to the nit comments in the chat. But I feel like in these situations, jam or fold is the best line. And maybe calling is fine, but that's it. Ryan says on YouTube, players overfold and give too much respect to 4-bets in small medium games. Another reason to not cold call. You 4-bet out of position at $25 MTT. Everyone thinks you have ace-ace. Mm-hmm. Okay, gonna limp call here with King Jack off. I think you can raise as well. And gonna check call the flop. You can actually bet flop, to be honest, because they should be floating super wide. Yeah, I think I might prefer betting flop, to be honest. And then we just try and show down. Funny Money says, hi everyone. Hey, how's it going? And we win. But yeah, I think betting flop actually. Our hand's quite strong on that board, blind versus blind. Not bluffing with your hand is probably a mistake at some point. Yeah, not bluffing at some point. Funny Money says, hey guys, good luck, good luck. Thank you. Appreciate that. 10-9 off. Gonna open. All right. Here's a fun one in the big 44. So our risk premium, 3 away from the money, 2 away now. There's only 13 left. Although it's a small field tournament. Our risk premium against a bigger stack, when we have a medium stack, is going to be really high. So we don't want to be defending hands that we could potentially call for chips. So this one would just be a really easy fold. Forget the 3-bet. But against this, I would just fold. This player covers us. We can do as much damage to them as they can to us, but I don't want to flat 2 away from the money. We're 8 of 13. Going to easily fold here. And we're going to go down here where I have 3-bet pre. And I'm actually just going to check back. He covers us. I don't think he's going to fold as frequently. And betting doesn't really accomplish too much. I mean, any kind of draw is going to continue anyway. So what do we really accomplish by betting? I guess we can deny equity to pairs that now improve, like pocket fives now improves to a set where we were way ahead and they would have folded on the flop. But I'm not too worried about that. We're going to have some stronger hands. We could have a flush or other hands. If he checks again, I do think it's really unlikely that we have the best hand. We do block Queen Jack, which is nice, but I just kind of expect this player to c-bet. They could have... Yeah, I'm actually going to bluff here because I think they have a decent number of 10x, maybe King X. We block Queen Jack, block King Queen that might call. I'm not really thrilled here, to be honest. We could just have Ace X to check call. But actually, we beat some hands too, like under pairs that haven't decided to bluff. So I'll check. He has Queen 10. Yeah, I mean, Sigh. We went back and forth. I'm going to tag this one for review because I do think it's a good situation to bluff. But if he's really passive, I mean, his aggression factor is reasonably high. Do think that he would have bluffed a pair by now. But I mean, it's so easy to say, isn't it? Once you see his hand and you think, oh wow, this would have been a really good bluff. We can get lots of 10x to fold. But yeah, I'm not convinced actually that no, you can't see it, it's too big. That he necessarily, yeah, I think we can beat some hands that decide not to bluff. But the thing is that yeah, it's very unlikely for us to not have a hand then. So I think, yeah, I actually think bluffing. We're going to go back and forth on this. I think bluffing is good. Okay, we're going to jam King Queen off here. Expect to get called by worse. We have less than a third of a starting stack and a starting bounty, so we should get called very wide. Going to get it in 3 ways here as well. This player should never fold. Okay, well, it's not quite as wide as we'd hoped for. Okay. Vun says command labels. I don't stream often enough to have a command of labels, so apologies. Our risk premium here is really high. If he was a bigger stack, I think we can fold this hand. But I think here we get to defend. Having said that, it's 1.2 big blinds. It's a slightly bigger Slightly bigger raise size, and there's only 0.8 big blinds in the middle. He raised from an early-ish position. He's covered by a few players. This player is really short. So I'm actually this close to bubble. Yeah, 11 of 12. Now he does cover us. I'm going to fold. Shadow says, do you only play on stars? No, I play on other sites as well. But today I'm just doing stars because I'm a streaming noob, and trying to have too many different sites open is going to be tough. Although having said that, we did play a $25 on GG where we played one hand and lost. Yeah, if you want to know why the King 10 off is a fold, our risk premium against that player is particularly, well, it's high. And we're going to struggle to realize equity. Wow, this is a terrible call. This guy's just called off with King Deuce off on the bubble. It was only 4.5 bigs, but at least that means we're now in the money. So, goodness me. Funny money. My only argument for defending ace-jack off there versus the 3x is the fact that a 3x open signifies a weaker player that will make more mistakes post-flop. Otherwise, I get it. Yeah, but you gotta make an extra big blind, right? It's really hard to make an extra big blind back, regardless of how poor you think your opponent is. So that's what I would say to that. Threes here. So now 11 of 11. We're in the money. And I'm just going to fold. Mr. Jam question. In small fields MTTs, is it not a good strat to jam practically any two into a big stack open with our medium stack, fold equity, and knowing they are opening close to 70%? Well, that's a big assumption that they're opening that wide. That's what I would say to that. Over here we have 23-ish bigs effective, and I'm going to limp jam. Back over here with jacks, I am just going to get it in. Oh no, I can't use those numbers. So yeah, no, it's not very good to practically jam any two into a big stack open. Like, that would be very poor. If he calls and like there's a blank turn card, very frequently gonna jam the turn, which you wouldn't normally do for chips, but in these situations with a strong but vulnerable hand, I think is nice, given there are 11 players left. Queen 10 off. I'm just going to fold with 3 bigger stacks to my left. So only 3 minutes left until the break, guys. And maybe I'll do another hour just because it's you. We've got some more tournaments to reg. There's the 215 bounty. There's the Bounty Builder 109 that starts at 5:30. So there's couple more bounties to reg. I'm definitely not a PKO expert by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't know how useful it'll be, but we'll see what we can do. Maybe we just stream until till we bust the big 44 or win it. Like, would maybe be a better way to look at it. Yeah, going back to what Mr. Jam's saying about them opening, this is a fold, opening 70%. I mean, I just don't think they are. So first of all, they have to know that they can open 70%. Then they've got to actually pull the trigger, and I think that is unlikely. And jamming practically any two into that, like, it doesn't, like for chips, it's probably fine, right? Because it's going to make chips. But remember that when it comes to ICM, it's risk versus reward. So if you jam 25 big blinds to win 4.5, and on the bubble, you're risking 25 big blinds worth of equity in that tournament for a pickup that doesn't really significantly change your equity in the tournament. So definitely don't just jam. I think you've got an idea of how your opponent's supposed to play, but from an ICM perspective, jamming practically any two into a big stack who's supposed to open wide is not a good strat. No. All right, final table bubble. We're 8 of 10. Let's go over here because we have a hand. Okay, so again, we could see bet. He should be defending quite frequently on a rainbow board. There's so much to defend here. But he should be missing offsuit Jack X, in which case we can go bigger on the flop. And that doesn't work. We have 2 overs and a backdoor straight draw. And what are we going to do here? We do block King Jack and Queen Jack, and we can improve on the river. Snaps again. What kind of hands can we get to fold by the river? It's going to be like Ace Queen of Hearts, Ace 9 of Hearts, Ace 8 of Hearts, those kind of hands. But I think the speed at which they called, I think I'm probably just going to bail at this stage, especially the 7 as well. They could have a hand like 8-7, 9-7. Unlikely, but I'm just going to give up here. I don't think they have the Ace Queen of Hearts, Ace X of Hearts enough, unfortunately. Yeah, or King Jack of Hearts is never going to fold, so happy to have given up. All right, that's the break, guys. I'm going to turn the webcam off and then we'll be back in a few minutes. My mic wasn't on. Guys, I'm really sorry. My mic wasn't on. Never mind. Well, next time. I think it's tough to get him to fold here. And we might just win when it goes check, check. He might bluff, but we can't call, unfortunately. Yeah, fair enough. Rock Ape says, not seen you use Poker Tracker to see how wide they open by position. Not something I tend to do that often. Maybe that's a leak, but like, you know, I can do a quick hover over and you can see like cutoff and button, raise first in, for example. Vun says there's a HUD all over the screen. Bennett Poker says, can you explain what you got going on with stars caption HUDs there? Yeah, so this is the odds that we need to call. We've also got the sizes to use for geometric sizing, so 42% pot or 2.68 big blinds, same for the turn. We've got the sizings up here. I don't really know why I've got those. And then at the top, we've got how much of the field's left and how many places are paid with how many left. So you can see we're just inside the money here. All right. Still getting used to these new hotkeys as well. I've recently changed keyboards, and so there's not any keys that are close together that I wouldn't normally use for poker. So, yeah. All right, Zebens. So the 215 bounty starts now, but it's 200 big blinds deep. I've got no idea how to play 200 big blinds deep. So probably going to reg a little bit later, maybe at the same time as the Bounty Builder 109. Yeah. 70, I'm just going to call. Who was it who wanted to see HUD stats? This guy's not really got any hands, so I don't want to read too much into that just yet. But I tend to not look at them very frequently either. If you've just joined us, guys, I've decided to do another hour. Normally I would just do an hour, hour and a half. But I have decided, probably going to check call turn. Not too much 9x in either of these two players' ranges. The only thing is that this guy could just have an overpair that he was going for a check raise with, or a check, you know, starts with a check. But we have some outs here, and I'm quite happy to call. Not sure how much King X bets the turn for 3 bigs, so it's kind of weird. But he can now just value bet like 10s and jacks, and okay, he ends up having an 8. And Xiao Andre S Chow Andre says mute. Yeah, unfortunately, streamer noob. All right, let's raise jacks. Let's have a drink. Stay hydrated, people. Well, the button's supposed to flat a lot here. Covers us, and so I can imagine lots of King X in there. So I'm going to check. And now we're going to fold versus that action. Up here, if we get jammed on, we're going to snap call. Come on, Jakob. Oh, Jakob, what are you doing? You shoved 30 bigs on me on the bubble. But anyway, we'll take it. So yeah, I'm going to stream probably the next, well, how long is it going to be? 48 minutes. See how we go, yeah. And we'll register. Oh, hello, final table. We 215 Bounty Builder series in a short while. If you didn't realise, the clocks went forward in the US. And I guess PokerStars... No, I don't think PokerStars servers are in the US, right? Where are they, though? Where are the servers where the time zone changes there but doesn't change here? Sounds a bit odd. You can't even say that. I mean, are there more North American players on PokerStars than Europe? I don't think so, right? Like not now that some part of Canada, where is it, Ontario, doesn't even get to play on the main site. Habaneros has just decided to disconnect on the final table. Maybe he's really excited that he's made a final table, and he's pulled his router out. He's tripped over his router, running around running around. That's quite a big raise size. That's not that player. Why are you raising so big? Huh. I think some suited aces would work out quite nicely as a jam there, but for now, I don't know how soft this final table is going to be. So I think taking spots like that, probably just unnecessary. Yes, we can get some better hands to fold. And if he ends up calling with a pair, we have an ace, which could be quite useful. But we'll carry on through. Plus, he's made it 2.77x, and not really sure why. Opening ace jack off here. Vun says, can you maybe show how to set that up in Star's caption on the Facebook group later when you have more time? Potentially. Bennett says, oh, interesting. Do you remember what the equation is for the geometric sizing? I do not. Like, it's really complicated. I can't remember it offhand. Let's see what happens here. Nothing really has happened in this, apart from us losing 40% of our stack. Oh well, we'll add to it a little bit there. Let's go back to the main event. I know you guys want to see a final table. This I'm going to push this up. How's that going to work? Does that work? That looks okay. 10-6. Do we cover anybody? No. This, but 1.2 big blinds in the middle. Let's swerve that and look at this hand instead, because we have pocket kings. And I don't think if I call, anyone's going to think that I ever fold. So I'm just going to rip. Yeah, I think that's. Like if we had like 50 bigs, I think flatting there and giving them an opportunity to jam over the top would be quite useful, right? So I think I think that's it really. But with only what do we have, 15 big blinds? I think it's pretty easy jam rather than a flat. Mr. P-Man, oi oi Gaz, good luck. Thank you, appreciate that. So if you've just joined us, we've got 3 tables. We are 9 of 9 on the Big 44 final table. We are in this bounty builder 55, but nothing really has happened, and the same with the marathon. We don't really have anything happening. So this is just where these are just the situations that we're in, right? Okay, gonna fold queen 4 off. Not really a lot going on. Jack 8 off then in the big blind. So despite being really short, like normally for chips, you can defend super wide in these situations. But our risk premium against the guys second in chips is still going to be really, really high. So I don't think we get to defend Jack 8 off. But we'll mark it for review and come back later. Yeah, I think that's one of those potentially overplayed spots where it's just like, well, I don't care anymore. I've got 5 bigs, 6 bigs. I'm just going to call with Jack 8 off and yeah, and go for it. Okay, well we can jam here. We can get called by worse. The opener should have 10s, 9s, 8s in their range. As we're so short though, their range will be pretty strong. So we can expect to see some big hands in there, of course. It's not like they always have like nothing. Like if it's one of the big stacks, we're going to get called a lot wider. Yeah, okay. They have pocket kings. That's fair enough. Not much we can do. Well, that was a short but sweet final table. I'm gonna throw it out there that I played close to perfectly. You guys can let me know. What do we have? Jacks once. No, kings against 4s and jacks against kings. So there you go. That's it. We flatted here because the player is short. We cover them and some good things can happen. I really don't want to fold, so we have a pair, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. So just going to call, hoping a big blind folds. They do not. They can float pretty wide here. I think I'm just going to go check, check. I think big blind just has a lot of flush draws. Those flush draws can just check jam. It covers both of us. So I think I'm just going to check and hoping that he checks again. Now I'm just not sure if we can value bet this hand. I think big blind could be checking to trap with a flush or a 5. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's bad. So I am going to check and win most of the time. But if I bet, I'm not sure we get called by enough worse. This could be really thin. Like yeah, should like always bet. 9-8 suited. That's a bit thin. Let's go over here. Jack 8 suited, we're going to defend. Decent flop for our hand. Huge bet. Huge bet. Probably not good. Oh. Oh. What's that? I mean, unfortunately now it means he never really has a hand. What are you doing? Does he fold for the extra 2 bigs, do you reckon? I think he's just going to bet fold, unless he just, I mean, whatever. Like, clearly doesn't know what he's doing. But I don't think he's going to, like, suddenly blast off for an extra 2 bigs on the river, is he? So, just get it in now. Not sure that counts as a royal flush, though, right? What do you guys think? Do you need to use both of your hog cards? What is going on? That was a bit of a delay. Don't think we get to call. So I said I was going to do an extra hour for you guys. I'm still planning to do that. The other thought was to just play until the end of the Big 44 final table, which unfortunately didn't last very long. So we did our best. We had some, and unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Do I 9-5, 9-6? I would call, but I think I'm going to fold here. He's going to fold less post flop. It becomes harder to realize. Maybe you're just supposed to call with all the suited hands, but PKOs throw out some weird stuff. I think folding our most unconnected suited hands is probably okay, but by all means, guys, if you can prove that that's bad, let me know in the chat. Pocket threes here. I'm just going to fold. We've got 14 minutes left until the end of late reg. And I love how unresults orientated everyone is in the chat. There's zero comment about kings losing to fours and zero comment about jacks losing to kings. And zero comment about busting on a final table. Nobody cares. Everyone's falling asleep because there's not much happening. Maybe that's it. Queens. I mean, this looks really, really strong. But maybe just has jacks or tens and ace king just gets it in. Big blind shoves here. It's very, very strong, but I'm just not going to fold. All right, queens against tens. Here we go. Nice. What is going on here? We bet flop. It goes call, call, and then this guy just finds a pot size bet. We don't close the action. We're drawing to the bottom. He could just have 6-7 already. Who knows? Who knows? Seven, 8, 9, 10 says, hey, nice hand I see there. What was it? There's a 4-minute delay, so I might not see what's going on. No idea what the hand was. Graham says defo RF for me. Race fold, is that, Graham? I don't know what the hand was though. So you guys got to help me out a little bit. When there's a 4-minute delay, I don't know what the hand is. So this player is a reg, I believe. He's locked on shark scope, but should be shoving a lot of hands that we're doing very well against. We'll flip against 8s. We'll get there. We'll not get there. Yeah, I don't know, guys, what you are referring to. I am sorry. Right, let's see what happens with pocket jacks here. We are going to 3-bet. We could also just jam and expect to get called by worse. But this player might just believe that we're going to 3-bet fold. But unlikely we'd make this side if the big blind so short. But you never know. Cutoff can just tell themselves a story that they're now going to 4-bet rip with ace-4 of... Well, ace-4 suited. Oh, talking of ace-4 suited. I was going to do that. Quite tempted to do this. It looks so strong. We block ace king and aces that can call, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. 9 minutes left of late reg in the marathon. The FAQ is going on. What a name on YouTube. I understand that you're busy, but could you explain lightly what combos we want to choose a smaller c-bet size when we're supposed to bet big and small on some flops? Yeah, so you can if you're supposed to bet big and small on some flops, then top set would be a good example of a hand you might want to bet small. If it's just always supposed to be big bet, you would still bet big. But if it's 2 bet sizes used and you block a lot of your opponent's continues, then it would make sense that you would go for a smaller c-bet with top set, maybe even middle set if it was like a king-queen 3 board. Hero Cool Poker, you have taught us well to focus on actions, not results. Obi-Wan Gaz. I like it. I like it. Nobody cared. I've never, Mr. Jam says GG, lol. I've never busted a tournament when streaming and not had anyone say anything. It's just like tumbleweed. Let's call with a straight draw and just bang it off on the river. The 5 of clubs. Oh, well, we might have to bluff. We might have to bluff. We block a straight. And we can get him to fold some like Queen X probably. Block 10-8, which is nice. Yay! Woo! Phew. I think it was really unlikely that we had the best hand there when he bets 4 or 5 ways. Probably should hero me with some Queen X though. So maybe he did. Oh, the royal flush. Yeah, that was a nice hand. What's going on up here? So this is a weak player who makes a small 3-bet. Now, his 3-betting range is probably quite tight. What we need to be careful of is it the kind of player I'm going to call? But if he bombs flop now, this is not a great situation. If he bets small, it's really nice. I'm going to check raise and get this in. Like, he can bet fold some hands. He just calls. And so he could float us with some flush draws, backdoor flush draws, that kind of thing. Obviously, we're up against an overpair a decent amount here as well, but I think denying equity to draws makes sense. And if we lose to an overpair, then we're just going to bink an 8 or a 7 on the river. He's got ace king. He would have snapped us. He would have snapped us with an overpair, I think. Oh, 7, 8, 9, 10 says royal flush. Yeah. How often do you get them when live streaming? Well, I don't stream when playing very often. I think it's really hard. I said this right at the start, that those guys that stream every day or full time, just shout out to you, because it's actually pretty tough. Pretty tough gig. Very tough gig. I think we need some more tournaments, guys. I think we do. Especially if we're only going to be streaming for another 26 minutes. So we're going to play the 215 and the Bounty Builder 109. So I'm going to get those set up. 4-3 off. Let's call. Let's call. Let's see who we've got on our table in the 215. You're going to love it, guys. Mr. Instagram Stories himself. Oh, Mr. Patrick Leonard. I cannot wait to bust him. We're also, so we've got the 109 Bounty Builder up here. Let's just make sure this is looking good. Okay, so if you just join us, guys, we've got the Bounty Builder 109, the Bounty Builder 55, where we have Starting Stack. We have the Marathon, where we have 3.5x Starting Stack. And we just registered the 215 Bounty Builder series as well. A few names I recognize here, but it's all good. We raised jacks here over a limp. This guy's limped a lot. And I think I'm just going to bet. I think this guy's just not very good. I just want to get as many chips in as possible. It looks like a normal scene bet here, like half pot. I'm not sure half pot would ever, like, well, I mean, it's a low board. Mr. Knox can go crazy with ace 9, king 9 for the bounty. Lots of chat here. Let me see. So I think jam could be quite nice here. I think I'm just going to jam. Still get called by 9x of diamonds, 6x of diamonds, maybe even like 9-7, 9-8, 6-7, 6-8, stuff like that. And it's not like we bet and he jams, we fold, right? So, and he does have 8-7, unfortunately, and we're gonna bust. So that's unfortunate. What? How many bigs do you? Oh, do we have? 600. We can't re-register that, unfortunately. So we're gonna bust that. He did have one of those hands though that we were talking about. Right, come on, pads. Open up now. All right, let's have a look. What's the advice on a downswing? Because at the moment, running so bad, it makes me play even worse. I would say play fewer tables, study more, work on your leaks, plug them. I don't know if a break is best for a while or grind it through. If you're not enjoying it, I wouldn't grind it through. You want to make sure that you're making... I'm going to see bet here. Oops, what have I done here? Press the wrong button. That's wrong. Okay, here we go. It depends. I'm sizing up a bit because it's 100 big blinds deep, so small bet here, be third-ish pot. So yeah, I would focus on your leaks. You want to see if you can work out whether the downswing is a mixture of like playing badly or just running bad. So you said at the moment running's so bad, but like we all run bad, right? So I wouldn't put too much weight in that. Like you can't control how you run, you can only control how you play. So work on that, work on those things. Hiracle Poker says stop playing and refocus yourself if you're playing badly. Principle 22. How strong is the ICM when 3 left and 2 10 big blind stacks and 1 50 big blind stack for the 10 big blind stacks? Against each other, the ICM is less than against the 50 big blind stack. So when the 10 big blind stack shoves in the small blind, you're in the big blind, you can call wider than if, say, you're in the big blind when the 50 big blind stack shoves in the small blind, even though they're probably shoving a wider range. Yeah, your risk premium against basically, your risk premium is higher the bigger the stack of your opponent. And it's got the same size stack as you, your risk premium will be X. And if they've got 5 times that, or 50 big blinds in this example, it's going to be a load more, right? It's going to be really high. So you have to call tighter against the bigger stack. Because if you think about it, when you double up against the bigger stack, you'll have 20 bigs and they've got 40 bigs, but you're still battling with the 10 big blind stack as to who busts next, right? Whereas if you bust the player in like you two both have 10 bigs and you bust them, well, now you've locked up extra, your equity improves, and you also, yeah, you've improved your position because you we cover these players because you have locked up with the next pay jump, right? So you don't want to double up but still be in second in that situation. Right, let's play some poker. This guy has 3 betters. I'm not going to fold, even though he covers us. Denmark. Right, late reg is closed, I believe, in the marathon. 55 players left, 23 places paid. I'm just going to call here. I think overfolding to unknown 3 bets could be quite reasonable as well, if you wanted to do that. And yeah, I think in theory we're supposed to defend. Maybe not. We're going to have ace queen with spades, hearts, and clubs as well. I'm just going to fold. Here opening with pocket 9s, just experimenting with min raising. I think we potentially want to play min raise so that the 3 so that we can defend wider, especially against players that we cover. We don't cover this player. But I don't think I want to fold, even though the 3-bet percentage is really, really tight. Let's have a look at their small blind. Yeah, look at this. Like, so their second 3-bet out of the small blind. Small blind versus EP. They've never done it. So we're gonna bink a 9. Okay, that's pretty bad. If he bets really small, like quarter pot, we're gonna have to defend. If he bets half pot, oh, he's a blaster. We love to see it. Someone who's a 6% 3-bet and a blaster, we're going to be overfolding to 3-bets. I am just going to fold here. We have a backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, but it's pretty bad. So let it go. We open ace king off here. I miss any chat. Wazzle says hello. 8-7 versus Jack. Well, not much we can do there. I mean, I think if he's going to play a limp strategy, I think he plays off actually here, given he covers us. So I think, yeah, this could be. I don't think we get to bet this 100% of the time, is basically what I'm saying. But with our hand, I think we do. We just obviously have the best ace. Okay. So I'm going to stream for another 15 minutes, guys, to the break, and then I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to continue recording for my Academy members. If you do want to find out more about some of the programs I've got going on, Train and Play Like the Pros and MTT Poker Academy, then you can get in touch on Facebook if you want. If you're not on Facebook, then try there's Instagram, Twitter, wherever you can find me on social media, and you can send a message, basically. Let's go over here. We've got pocket tens. We will call this player, call this player, call this player. In other news, we flatted Jack 10 suited in a small blind, and we're calling here. Do we check raise? We check raise some Jack X. I think leading this Jack would be reasonable. What other bluffs do we have? We could have 4, 5, 5, 6, ace 4, ace 5 to bluff. We're really struggling though. I think from the big blind we just have way more. So I'm going to check instead. Bink. So now the first thought I've got is bet to 3-bet jam. Right? Like if we block here, we could block here with a 3 or a 2, and he might raise a 10, he might raise some bluffs, stuff like that. So I think that's probably where I'm going to go with this, just without enough time to really explain things. That's what I'm going to do. Hopefully, yeah, I mean, I think he should raise a 10. I think we can block a 3 and a 2. Yeah, we're going to bet 3-bet jam. Okay, he just folds, unfortunately. All right, back to starting stack. We cover some players on the table. Pad, Small Kind B, Bambino, and .com lol. Don't think we get to open this hand though. Let's go over here though. We'll open this one, covering quite a few. In fact, everybody. Hero Poker says, if you know you're changing from solid play to weak play, it's an emotional adjustment you need to make. If you keep playing, you will keep triggering that emotional reaction. We need to stop focusing. Sorry, we need to stop playing, focus on study to bring us back into a rational mindset that we can then maintain in game. Cool. Got some backdoors. The problem is I don't really want to bet small. This guy should defend super wide if we use a small C bet size. I really want to go big here. So I think, check raise is a bit, 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush, kind of. I mean, it's ambitious. We get him to fold under pairs. We can get this player to fold a 4 and a 3. We have outs. I don't really want to check. Okay, well, that worked out nicely. All right. Well, some legends out tonight. We've got pads on this table. We've got Jabricada on this table. UK legends. Let's call them. Let's call them that. I don't know if there's any others. I don't cover either of these players, and also we talked about cold calling 3-bets. I think cold calling 3-bets in position is different, but also remember what I said about cold calling 3-bets in the first place is that most of the time it's a no-no because of the original sims we saw. There was no option to call, but there are some situations where you could call, and some final tables where that's going to be better to do that. But it might just be like raise jam for 11 bigs, you call rather than making it 18 or whatever min raises. Guys, 10 more minutes left. That's all we're going to do tonight. I was only going to do an hour, and then we've done 2. Like I said, I'm going to record this for the Academy. Okay, well, we would have defended here. We cover this player. Yes, it's a slightly bigger raise size, but there's 1.2 big blinds in the middle, and we get that discount for the fact that we cover them. And yeah, we've got, I don't know, it'll be about 5-6%, maybe a bit more. But we can't defend against the 3-bet. Big old pot here. So Wazzle said, is the fact that we're covering people in bounty tournaments really such a factor in increasing range when it's 60 plus big blinds deep? Yeah, I think so. Like at the start of the tournament, right? So if everyone's got 100 big blinds, well, actually it's more than that, isn't it? But you get that negative risk premium and not a lot of positive risk premium because it's so early in the tournament, right? So you get that discount, and you get to, yeah, so I think should be defending, certainly defending the big blind wider, defending the small blind a lot wider than most players will. Okay, let's go over here. I think we've got a couple of options if cutoff opens. Sorry, yeah, if cutoff opens, we can call or 3-bet. I think covering both the blinds is quite nice to just call and play post flop. But as they fold, we're just gonna go with a raise. And just small c-bet here. We block some continues. We can bluff later on in the hand. So 10.93. I'm really tempted. So it's a blank turn card. We have the king of spades. We block a hand like king queen of spades, king two of spades. I mean, just basically king x of spades that can always continue against the overbet. So I think that's quite nice. If they call again, I think they do have an ace quite a lot of the time. If you're a lot deeper than that, say we're 100 big blinds deep, I don't think you get to overbet that turn. It would be just a big bet. Could be wrong. But once the SPR gets to less than like, I don't know, 1.5, I think finding the overbets for on blank turn cards is good. It wasn't really a blank, it was an overcard to the two lower cards on the board, but essentially big bets that I think are good. I'm tempted to flick this in, but I don't know if that's too loose. Nobody's won a bounty on this table, but we just cover everybody, all right? We cover the opener, we cover everyone behind. Flatting a lot of hands there seems good, but maybe that's just a bit too weak. All right, come on then, pads. Let's see it. Nope. Okay, let's defend. I think if the suits were reversed, maybe we get to defend. Like, I certainly don't want to overfold, but we're going to struggle to realize later in the hand as well, because he covers us, right? He can win our bounty, we can't win his. I'm gonna mark this because maybe I'm just like way overfolding in these spots with one spade against a small bet. Or overthinking it, and it's absolutely fine. That's kind of where we're at. Yeah. Opening ace 10 off here. Call this player, probably fold to everybody else. So it looks like a low board where you want to use big bet and check, but big blind really shouldn't be defending 8-2 off and 8-3 off. And given that we're only 13 away from the money as well, they should be a bit more cautious. This guy, where is his HUD start? I think he's a reg. Yeah, 917. So part of me, I mean, wow. He's a reg with a 4% check raise. I mean, I'd fold an overpair here. Wow. Here we might get, I was going to get fruity if this guy bet. I was going to check raise with 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. Against pot now, we can't really do anything. I'm just going to fold. I think I'll fold to 3-bets from bigger stacks and have to call stacks that are shorter than us. Like if this guy 3-bets, I don't think he's going to 3-bet aggressively enough, and that's it. Do you have specific podcast episodes that address mind strategies when running bad? Yeah, I think so. I couldn't tell you which one then. We've done 169 episodes, 67 episodes, something like that. So I couldn't tell you. I've clicked auto fold here when we cover this player, but I don't think it's going to be a hand we really want to defend anyway. 1 more minute, guys. That's it for the stream. So I'm going to do the sign-off stuff now. We might get 3 more hands in, depending on how long the hands they're currently playing take. But if you haven't done so already, hit the follow button if you're watching on Twitch. Subscribe if you want to on YouTube. Join my Facebook group. If you want to type Command FB group into Twitch, it'll give you the link. What else? That's it, I think. That's going to be it, I think. The break, you're not going to get to see me bust pads, unfortunately. I'll record it on Instagram and tag him so you see it in his story later. When it happens, we covered this player. Definitely don't want to fold. We're going to be playing a ton of hands here. Hopefully this guy just checks. Okay, right. Well, let's check. And probably check call flop. Bat Bob, what do you have? I might check raise turn. That would be pretty sexy. Blocking ace 2 and pocket 2s. Getting him to fold better hands. Kind of quite like it. This player is just not going to fold though now. It's a problem. It is a problem for us, but I still quite like it. We might even get value from like a weaker flush draw. I think he probably has to, I think he probably folded, because he had a draw, he doesn't fold, right? But if he has a queen or maybe a weak ace, like he's going to be put in a tough spot. All right, guys, that's it for the stream. I've done 1 hour and 55 minutes. You can see that just above my head. You just saw that, my new book that's out in the summer, The Final Table, forward by Mr. Phil Helmuth himself. Get on it, join the Facebook group, come and join the free fun in there, and I'll see you next Tuesday for the stream, which won't be on this channel. It's going to be on DTO's channel. I'm doing some 3-way stuff out of the small blind next week there. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you soon. Ciao.